And we are now live.
Good morning and welcome to our Qigong class with where Rivers Meet Spirituality Group. This is our second meeting, and so we'll be reviewing a lot of the exercise that we went through before. Just for people that are joining us for the first time, Qigong, quick definition is Qi is the energy of life, energy of existence. Gong means to work with it. So what we're doing with Qigong is just using very simple body movements to just become aware of the energy, and to, once we become aware, to start directing that energy, through our body so that we can live life to its fullest. A bit of a gross exaggeration, not exaggeration, but oversimplification. But when you're standing up here in front of people, that's what you do. What we're going to do, the same as we did last week, we're going to start with some very simple exercise to help limber up the different joints, because as the energy is flowing through our body, what we want it to be able to do is flow through the joint areas, just so we can get maximum movement or maximum flow. And so we'll start with just some neck exercises. And as I said last time, you can do these mostly up to as many years as you are old. So we'll first start just very simple, very slow, up and down, don't force anything. Underlying principle here is be kind to yourself. Then we'll just do about 8-10 of them up and down, and then side to side, same thing. And then side to side. As we're doing these exercises, a couple of things to keep in mind is that we want to keep your body as relaxed as possible. So every once in a while, we'll just kind of scan through, relax the shoulders. In fact, that's what we're going to be doing next, relaxing the shoulders. So just draw your shoulders up and then just let them drop. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our shoulders, and we'll just roll the shoulders forward. One of the things you want to imagine is that you have a little corkscrew in the top of your head, and you're just being suspended by a string coming out the top. So your posture is just kind of nice and loose, kind of like a marionette. You're just hanging there. Then we'll go backwards, the shoulders. Generally, eyes are kind of an unfocused gaze, or gaze, not glaze, just kind of on the horizontal, just forward. You're not really focused on anything, because that's not what we're really paying attention to here. Then we're doing some spinal stretches here, where you just raise up in your toes. One thing you'll find that this is really good for your proprioception. When you first start, and when I still am now, is you try and balance on your toes or anything, you notice that it doesn't always work very well. So you just be gentle, kind. Again, if you feel the need, you can sit on a chair and get, a lot of the benefit out of this, because you'll be able to still do the upper body movements. Just do about 8 to 10 of these. Last one. Just let the arms come down. We'll just move on to the wrists. Wrists, again, hold a lot of tension. About 8-10 of those, one way, then the other way. Again, if you have any issues with any of your wrists or anything, any parts, just be gentle on it. You can just kind of skip that part, or just do abbreviated, whatever is necessary. Next one is a stomach energizer, where we start with the feet are about shoulder width apart, knees a little bit bent. You want to tuck in your sacrum so that you're kind of there. Keep your stomach very relaxed. In fact, here you want to really focus on keeping the stomach area relaxed, is what you're doing. You're focusing energy into that. And so first just push back. And then just allow the arms to just kind of flow forward. And as you're doing this, just kind of bring your awareness to your stomach area. There'll be a little bit of tightening each time as you push your hands back. But just relax as you come forward. And you do hundreds, even 1,000 of these during the day. You know, do them in sets, you know, where you get, 20 of them at a time. Of course, all of this is just up to whatever, you're comfortable with. But you can do many of these exercises as long as you want. Some of the ones we get into the more of the Qigong exercises proper, you can spend 15, 20 minutes, half an hour even on one particular exercise. One more. Next one is you can think of it as a core recharge. I call it the whirligig. So all we're doing, we're just kind of twisting side to side, letting the arms kind of just spiral around you. And as we're doing this, you may hear a little tap. What I'm doing is tapping with the back of my hand right on the knuckle area here, just tapping over the adrenal kidney area, just a nice light tap. You don't want to overstimulate your adrenals. And just as you're doing this, just focus on keeping everything else nice and relaxed. You're twisting probably about 60, 90 degrees to either side. Light tap in the back. And this energizes the stomach. Next, we're going to start doing a similar movement that energizes the upper core, upper torso. We're going to be doing the same thing. A couple of variations is we're going to bring this forward hand up. There's a acupuncture point right up here, L1, right kind of in the hollow of below your clavicle there. And so what you're going to do, you're going to hit with the knuckle of your thumb right here. And you're going to hit that as you spin to this side and opposite to the other. We're also going to add in the back, we're going to try and hit up a little bit higher. So you're above your adrenals, so you're going to do a little bit more of a vigorous slap on both sides. And then you also point the toe as you twist. The breathing in Qigong is in through the nose and out through the nose. And what you find is that where you normally have more rapid breath rate, as you go throughout the exercise or when you're done, you find your breath rate is slowed considerably. One of the nice things about Qigong is that you're learning these very simple movements, but you're keeping the rest of the body relaxed. So you're using the minimal amount of energy to do these. So you're not just kind of throwing your energy out with all these useless tension or other movements. One more each way. I'm going to just very easily release the knees a little bit. So be very gentle with yourself. Knees aren't designed very well. So just do about 3 or 4 or 5 gentle circles one way, then back the other way. And then we'll move down to the ankles. What we're going to be doing is one, working on a balance. It's fair play to just touch a wall or something, just keep your balance here. I can do this if I'm really focused. So you spiral on one way, twist in one way, and then back the other way about 8-10 times. And you can also do the sitting on a chair, which makes it very easy. And the next one we're going to be doing is the endurance activator. There's another acupuncture point right just outside of the tibia and the ankle here, fibula, excuse me, outside of the knee. And we're just going to be tapping that. It's a stomach acupuncture point, but it's also called the walk 3 mile point, as traditionally people will use this as something to charge their whole system so that they have the endurance, hence the name, the endurance activator. And you can do these, hundreds of these if you like. Be interesting for, if you're doing an activity to just do a little experiment with yourself and see if this really does make any difference. And now we'll get into more of the actual Qigong exercises themselves. This is just called a spiralic recharge. In Qigong, what we want to do is we want to be moving energy, but one way to do that is to just kind of facilitate things by spiral action. And so this one we're going to be doing is starting with the hands kind of right in the groin area here, or the inguinal area. I don't know what it's called. And the first one we're going to do is be just spiraling out. And as the arm comes out, it's just a very simple movement. So you're reaching out. So right now I'm about 45 degrees out and the arm just reaching up. And what you want is for the motion of this hand, just be a continuous unfolding or spiraling out, both going out and in. And then I'll do it one last time to this side, come out. It's also called the picking fruit movement. And as this one comes out or back in, the other one spirals out. And so you're reaching up. And slow is better. The slower you move, the more awareness you need to bring to it. Think of it as your arm is coming out as a flower that's just kind of unfolding and reaching for the fruit. Again, your gaze is just kind of unfocused in front of you. Let your tongue rest lightly just back of your teeth on the top of your mouth. We'll do a bunch of these. This may be where you start to feel a sensation in the palm of your hands. It's a very powerful point. And traditionally, there's always been the laying on of hands, where we're giving energy out through our hands. And for me, and for many people, this is where they can actually feel kind of either tingling or a heaviness, magnetic resonance, something in your palms. Once when we were living in St. Paul, the little girl that was across the street fell down on her bicycle or fell off a swing. I can't remember what it was, and hurt her knee. And I was the only person around, and she was really distressed. And so I had her rub her hands together and just hold them over her knee, just a slight distance away. And didn't think anything of it. And she was probably 6, 7 at the time. And I think it was just before she graduated from high school, somehow it came up that she still does that. So it's, there definitely is energy in the human body, and this makes it very palpable. One more each way. And then just let the hand slow down. Your whole arms may be getting heavy. It's almost like you're kind of pushing through a marshmallow or a very thick fog as you're moving around. There's many different forms of Qigongs, different family styles, different traditions. Some of them are very ornate. There's a whole slew of things on the internet of different families or different traditions. Some are very complex where they're doing all sorts of different movements. Again, what I like about this is just the simplicity of the movement and the immediate results that you seem to get. Another style is I had met this fellow and he was going to do his Qigong, and he was just sitting there, and I'd been familiar with Qigong at the time, but he was sitting there and not doing anything. I said, well, when are you going to start? He said, well, for him it was just all mental process, because where you bring your attention is where the energy flows. And so just many different styles. This next one is called coiling silk, and it's a fundamental technique in a lot of the different schools, and they have slight variations on it. And it's very important because we're going to be energizing a core here. It's called the lower dantian. Dantian is like a energy center, body intelligence. We have one in the head, one in the heart, and then the lower dantian. You're just about 3 or 4 fingers below the belly button. And what we're doing here is we're twisting. We're just kind of activating this whole area here. So we'll be twisting, not in this particular exercise, but what we want to do is just mobilize. It's like a gyroscope that's in there, and we're just kind of mobilizing it in all the different axes. So this one, start with your left hand on your hip, and just bring your right arm up slowly. So you're right about shoulder level here with the hand down. What we're going to be doing is just bringing the hand across, and as you start bringing across, start with your feet a little bit wider apart, and make sure that you get a bend in your knees. If you straighten your knees, it's harder for the energy to flow through. So just keep a bend in your knees. And in different traditions, the lower you go, the more energy you build. But it takes a lot of energy to do that. So we'll start knees bent, suspended up here, breathing easily in and out the nose. Hand comes up to here. As we come across here, slightly shift your weight into this foot. And then also be twisting your hand with a very subtle variation so that you come out to about here. I'll do this, in portions to start. So your hand's about 45 out, and then bring it down and slowly be coming around like this. And then as you come across the bottom, kind of a scoop, put your weight back to this side and bring it up. And then, so in a continuous motion, shift the weight back, rise up slightly, shift weight over, sink down. We'll do 2 more this side. Once you start doing these, it's really easy to just kind of space out. So if I say 2 and it's been about 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know how you tell me. Maybe my wife will just slap me upside the head. Okay, switching sides. Right hand on the hip. Let's see, where are we? Okay, hand comes up and across. Again, we're shifting weight, sinking down, back across. This is one that you can do for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour if you like. Again, it's just very simple movement. Stimulate a lot of different meridians as you bring your hand across. Just become aware as you're doing this. Just follow your hand movements. Just make sure that there's just a nice, gentle transition from spiraling to bending, cupping, twisting. Rest of your body relaxed. One more each way, or one more. Been going to say that for the last 5, 10 times. And each time I come through that and I forget about it. So it goes with the territory. Just for fun, just take your hands at this point and just kind of bring them together. If you feel any kind of resonance or any energy between them, just kind of back them off. One of the other styles of Qigong is, I was in class and I was just kind of messing around doing things like that. And the guy said, "Oh, you're doing that freeform Qigong, where you just feel the energy and just playing with it and moving it." So it's I like it because it's very, you can be very unstructured and just have fun with it too. So next one is bending the bow. And first, just bring this hand up and this hand over. Bring the hands so the palms are close together and just draw out like this. So it's like you're drawing the bow of a bow and arrow. Bring the hands real close, 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 close. And then kind of feel a stretch in between, following the fingertips out here. Again, slow is good. So as your hand comes across, this hand goes out. The right hand now stop just kind of right beside the head. And we'll do one more each way. Normally you would just be breathing in and out easily through the nose. I'll add a few more here. As we come across here, be inhaling here, exhaling all the way across here. Breath rate may be higher than that, so don't worry about it, just something to. And arms down. You may notice that all your movements are just a little bit slower now. Next one is a spiral disc recharge, where we start with kind of an embrace posture, sort of bending over slightly forward. We're going to be doing is just moving the hands in and out. And the movement comes not from the shoulder blades. You're not moving the shoulder blades back and forth, but the movement is coming from the hips, and it just transferred to the, actually I'm bending down so you can see instead of in front of the picture there. So one hand, then the other hand. So you're just, movement comes from the hip. The shoulder blades are kind of drawn around to the forward a little bit. So they're kind of, but they don't really move. They just rotate with the upper torso. We do about a dozen or so like this. And then what we're going to do is keep that movement generated from the hips and just start rotating down. Here it gets a little bit more exaggerated or more something. And then slowly come back up again. Here you may feel it especially in your fingertips. And we finish off with about 6, 8 of these either side. Arms down. Next one, I call this the Flappy Bird. What we're going to be doing is moving the hands. I'll go to the side here first. Raising up to about 30 degrees, down to 15, up to about 45, down to 30, 60 degrees, don't put a protractor on my hands. And then once you're up to 90, then you just reverse the process. We're just kind of going down a little bit more, back up again. And then down. And then just come to a full stop, and then we'll do that. We'll repeat this 3 times like that. And if you imagine, it's kind of like you almost have something that's drawn the middle of your palms up, you know, kind of like that marionette again. To 90, down. And then just kind of complete stop momentarily and back into the next set. And when they come to a full stop, and move the arms up in a circle overhead. Imagine just as your arms are coming up, just energy coming out through your fingertips, going out to the edge of the universe, all the way out through the, you know, just everywhere. And then as you bring your hands in, you're drawing all that energy back in. And then bring it all the way down through your legs, through your feet. Actually, I skipped a movement there. So what we want to do is again, reaching out to the end of the universe, come down. When you get to the forehead area, just bring your hands in, close to your forehead, bring your energy into your head. Hands out, come down into your chest area and down, and then into the lower dantian area. And just feel the energy just kind of infusing into your body, and then release all the way down through your legs. We'll do that just one more time. Reaching out, stretching out, gathering in. This can be very palpable where you're just bringing the energy and just kind of suffusing throughout the body. And we'd be doing the same thing out to the side. Oops, go eat that. So we go up. We'll just come to a full stop momentarily and start again. Full stop. Again, up overhead. Do one more because it feels so good. And release all the way down. Another one I'll demonstrate it here. What we're doing is bringing the arms up, arms out. I call this the Matrix move from the movie. One more each way. Arms down and reaching out, gathering energy in, bringing energy into the head. Reaching out, energy into the heart. Reaching out. And releasing. And the next is the same thing out to the sides, where the arms come up, off to one side. One more each way. Arms down. Reaching out, fingers extending all the way out, bringing energy into the head. And actually, we're going to let the hands come all the way down, all through the legs, extending the fingers out, the arms out, gathering energy in, bring it into the heart area. Hold it for a breath or so, releasing it all the way down. Last time, reaching out, gathering in. Relax, release down. And I think we'll finish with just a standing meditation. We just have your feet shoulder width apart, knees bent, nice suspended from your little corkscrew up here. Easy breathing, just hands in front of you. Sink down with the breath, bring the hands together. Breathe in. Breathe in, rise up. Exhale, sink down. And you can do this for as long as you like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And don't forget to play with it. If you want, you can visualize a glowing ball of energy in your hands. And then just let the hands come down when you're through. And be gentle with yourself. Don't do anything stupid. Again, if you do a sitting meditation, try a sitting meditation after this, because your mind is already very settled down. And as you go into your sitting meditation, you already got that head start. So we'll see you next week. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you then.